Plikat logging started in, I believe, 1979. My dad took out a small loan from his dad to buy a Forest Service salvage sale. Made enough money to pay his dad back, and then turned around and bought another salvage sale, and then slowly developed into what Plikat is today with, 75 employees, three full-time yarder crews, 2 full-time shovel side. We've got a piece of equipment to do just about every job out here.
Wally Plikat's been logging for us for a long time. He knows the ground, he knows what we like, so it's just a lot of stuff goes unsaid with him because he just goes out and does the job. There's also Jeff Plikat, who's usually on site making sure things run smooth. That's Wally's son, and having that continuity between father and son in the business is a real benefit. So we're here in the Coast Range, in the Brummett Creek drainage of the Coquille River drainage. So this was a 55-year-old predominantly Douglas fir stand with some mixed hemlock in it. So the challenges with this unit, there's a medium fish stream that they had to log a portion of the unit over top the fish stream, and there's not a lot of lift, so they had to take extra steps to ensure protection of the fish stream.
So the difficulties in the Coast Range mainly are protecting water quality and leaving the buffers on stream. So there was one large fish stream and it covered 2 sides of the unit, and they had to log over it. They had to leave a buffer on, and they had to tail hold over it. They didn't necessarily have to log over it, but they still had to get their lines through it.
Using that upper landing, we got over the buffer to keep it from logs dragging through the trees.
And on the third side, there is a medium fish stream that had low lift that they actually had to haul the logs through on the carriage when they were cable yarding. And they did that with minimal impact on the buffer. It looks pretty good.
Because we used a lot of natural holes where there was windfalls. So we got as much lift as we could in the back, but we also found the straightest shots through the holes.
Logging this unit in the winter presented an extra challenge for Plikat logging. You got to take extra steps to ensure you're protecting the land and not causing any damage to any public resources. And Plikat logging excels at that. They always shut down when the soil's saturated and things are too wet. They'll shut down. I don't have to tell them, they just do it. They shut down and wait for things to dry out.
You know, it was raining like crazy, so there was a lot of water coming down the ditches, and we'd always try to keep it open as much as possible. And even if we had to stop and open up culvert, we would do that.
Behind me, there's a downhill logging piece. It is very difficult, very dangerous, very steep.
Couldn't bucket all where it was laying because it's so steep. It was just hard logging.
With this being a popular public use road, we wanted to protect that road infrastructure to make sure the public is able to go visit the Dorner Fir.
We had a road closed sign. It didn't always keep people from coming in. Had a flagger with a radio and communicate with the cutters while they're cutting above the road. We yarded across this road right here on the downhill piece. We always had it up there to keep the road open.
They always take the time to make sure everything looks better than before they got here.
We just cleaned up as we did each road and laid logs across the road so it wouldn't have logs dragging big old slide tracks and all the big old holes that logs do drag, downhill, and you don't have lift over a road. So we laid tree links down where it would skid across those each road line, and it saved the road really well.
The downhill portion, like the logging's very clean. There's not a lot of waste here. They took extra steps to ensure that things were fell in an appropriate manner so that there was minimizing breakage and damage to the timber resource.
They did that without rutting the corridors out while they were logging, and they also kept their brush cleaned up so there wasn't big piles of brush piling up in the road, maintaining the public's access to the donor trail. And by them not having ruts anywhere in the unit, even in the uphill yarding area, there was nowhere for the water to channelize and go down and deliver sediment to the stream.
They did a nice job, and here we are. You can drive the road. The ditches are clean, culverts clean, buffers intact, brush is piled nice.
This unit, the cleanup is excellent. I'd give it an A+ on the cleanup. All the piles are piled really well. There's no slash in the ditches.
So ditches are really important for us, especially for protecting waters of the state, in that we want them to be disconnected. We don't want a lot of brush in there that's going to pick up sediment or possibly blow a pipe out eventually and back up. And we want that brush mainly below the roads where it will actually catch the sediment. And they did that very well here. So that's something they really excelled at on this job.
This unit's in excellent shape for replanting.
And they really do go above and beyond to protect the resources.
There's a right way and there's a wrong way, and let's just do it the right way the first time and get the job done and get it done right.
Always do a good job, always do the best you can.